but we have a very special guest on the line. I want to welcome Jim McCord. He's a real estate agent with Keller Williams out of the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. He's been a licensed realtor since 1993, and over the last 36 months, he's listed more than 30 homes with a value of over $1 million. He recently wrote a book that's an Amazon #1 bestseller, A Revolution in Real Estate Sales. And I have to tell you, I love that book. I love sharing that book. He's a father, grandfather. He loves to travel. He's an outdoorsman. He actually even ran a marathon from San Diego to Washington, D.C. back in 2002 for diabetes awareness. But what I really love about Jim McCord is he is so willing to share what he's learned with everyone. He has such an abundance mindset, and he has been using send out cards for several years now to grow his real estate business. And he's the first one to raise his hand and offer help to anyone else. So are you there, Jim? You may have to unmute yourself. I do not hear you. Jim, are you there?
You must have muted.
There you are. I got you.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yep. Welcome.
Good.
It's great to have you on.
I'm so glad you can hear me.
Yay.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. First thing, Callie, I understand you had told me there's going to be quite a few real estate agents on here. And if you're on this call, you're either a real estate agent or you're a send-out cards distributor, or you might be both. And if you're either one, I have a lot to say because real estate agents are tough. It's a tough nut to crack. Most of them that you try to share send-out cards with don't get it. And I'm a perfect example because the realtor tried to share it with me back in the summer of 2009. I just had zero interest, zero. And I was actually rude to him. And I say that because some of you who are talking to real estate agents are getting that same kind of reaction. And I just wouldn't give him the time of day because I was not a card sender prior to that. I was a successful realtor, and the realtor was trying to share something that I had never done before, and it didn't make sense. So I didn't give him the time of day for about 6 months. He'd call me, he'd email me, set up appointments, and I wouldn't show up. And then he finally sent me a card. And when he sent me a card with my photo on the front of the card, I was 52 years old, and it was the first greeting card I ever got with my photo. And it really had impact. And I realized as soon as I opened that card, it's like, oh, my God, how did Brad do this? And I knew instantly that everybody who bought a house from me from that day on had to get a thank you card, not with my photo on the front, but with their photo in front of the house they bought from me. I knew it would be a keeper, and that's how I got involved. And I started using it back in October of 2009. I've been licensed since 1993. I've tried everything. And I can say, and this is no exaggeration, without question, send-out cards is the best marketing I've done in my 24 years as a real estate agent.
Awesome. Well, do you want to share some of the ways you're using it?
Yeah, I asked Callie, rather than just talk, I sent her a few slides. In this first slide, if as a realtor, what we do is we're prospecting for sale by owner homes or expired homes to try and get their listing, if you're a listing agent. And all the information is about the same. I've collected that stuff over the 24 years, and that's just a small sampling of it. But it's all typewritten stuff. It's all about the company. It's all logos, pictures of the realtor. And I intentionally left the advertisements out with photos because I didn't want pictures of any specific realtors. But you realtors know what we do is we send pictures of us out all the time. So this is the kind of stuff that realtors are generally sending out to for sale by owners. And if you can go to the next slide, Callie. This is a home I listed a couple years ago. It was an expired home, and it had been listed 3 times previously. I showed the home. It was a house on a farm of 46 acres, and I love showing farms. I love walking land. And when I showed it, when it was listed with one of the previous agents, I decided if that expired, I'm going to go after it. Well, sure enough, it expired. I drove out that day. I saw on the MLS it expired. I drove out and I shot this photo. Through send out cards, I just uploaded that photo to the front of the card, typed awesome farm. That's the front of the card. Go ahead and switch to the next one. And on the inside, I typed their name, Mr. and Mrs. Barth. Your home's been on the market numerous times. I won't read it to you, but there's another picture there that I took that day it expired. And then down below that is some reasons they might want to consider listing with me. So if you think about that first slide I sent you with all those photos of all those mailings, it's all about the realtor and how great the realtor is. Then they get, go to the next slide, Callie. They got this box, a box this exact size with 2 brownies, and when they opened it up, the front of the card they saw was a picture of their farm. And that really stands out. I didn't know those people. They had listed with 3 different agents. They got 12 or 15 different things from other agents. They got this box from me with that exact card in it, and they called me. I went out, I listed the property, and I don't know, 6, 8, 9 months later, it sold. And the next slide, go ahead, next one, Callie. This is a thank you card. I love sending everybody who buys or sells a house with me a thank you card. These were the sellers of that farm. Their name is Mr. and Mrs. Barth. Now, I want you to know I don't put my favorite clients ever on the front of every card. That would be very disingenuous. I don't do that. These truly are my favorite clients. They were in their 80s, and they had to sell that farm. They lived on that farm for like 46 years. And so after it sold, this is the thank you card. I just took a picture of them with my cell phone in front of their door. Go ahead and slip to the next one. And that is an aerial drone photo of their farm. This is a 3-panel card. We have postcards, we have 2-panel cards, 3-panel cards, and then large cards, 8.5 by 11 large cards. And so this is the inside 3-panel. When they open the card, they get an aerial view of their farm that they lived at for 46 years. And the next slide. And then on that flap is this thank you note. Mr. and Mrs. Barth, you guys are awesome. I meant it when I say you're my favorite clients in 23-year real estate career. Thanks again for working with me. And that's another aerial photo of their farm. And I sent that. Actually, they had received numerous cards from me because they loved those brownies in the card the first time. So they had received brownies and cookies from me. And with this thank you card, they received this card, 16 brownies, 2 dozen cookies, and a box of chocolates. Because you can send not only one gift, but you can now send multiple gifts. And Mrs. Barth called me up in tears. They'll never throw that card away. They will absolutely never throw that card away. Go ahead. I think I have a couple more slides. Go to the next one, Callie.
And what beautiful photos. Actually, you don't. That was the last one that I had.
Okay.
But okay,
All
so
right,
I have a question for you, a couple questions that our listeners may have. You had said, I pulled in your stats, that you've listed over 30 houses over the $1 million price range in the last 36 months. How many of those would you attribute to what you're doing with send out cards?
Without question, 100%. The first 21 years in real estate, at times, numerous years, I was the top agent in Northern Kentucky in our county. And many times, those first 21 years, I was the top agent in my office. But I had never listed or sold one home for $1 million, not one. I just never went after them. And I started using this, send out cards, 7 years ago on my normal real estate, all less than $1 million. And it was just phenomenal. So a little over 3 years ago, I thought, well, I'm going to try it on a big listing. I'd never gone after a big listing. I was really nervous. It was a $2.2 million expired. And I sent him a card. It expired just kind of like that farm you're looking at here. It was listed for over a year and a half. It expired. I drove by, took a picture of the front of the house. I sent them a card, a 3-panel card, their picture on the front. And I actually put the owner of that house, I Googled, his name was Mark, I won't give his last name, but I Googled that and clicked on images, and I put his photo and the photo of his house on the front of a card. On the inside, some reasons he might want to meet with me, and I sent that with 2 dozen cookies. And I had no idea if it would work. I thought it might because it worked on other expires. Well, he called me, met with me, listed with me, and I couldn't believe it. I listed it for $1.9 million. I was so excited I went back to the office. I was only licensed in Kentucky at the time, and I pulled up other expireds over $1 million that had expired and had not relisted over the last 6 months. There were only 3 other ones that hadn't sold or relisted. So over the next week, I sent them all similar cards, each with 2 dozen cookies. And within a month, I had all 3 of them listed. So now I had the first one and the next 3. I had 4 listings, all over $1 million.
All using.
And I realized that, yeah, it was phenomenal. And the only thing that set me apart was these cards. You know, and what makes, it's not the card that makes the difference, because there's a lot of real estate companies that market with greeting cards. What makes the difference is you're putting information about the client or the prospect, either about them, their family, or their house on the front of the card. The front of the card of every card I've ever sent out always has something to do with a person that's opening that card. So I listed those 4 homes, and I realized the market was way better right across the river in Cincinnati. I got licensed in Cincinnati, and quite a few of the homes, 6 of the homes of those 30 that I've listed, over $1 million, are not in Ohio or Kentucky. My partner and I are now listing homes through other agents outside of Ohio and Kentucky because our system works anywhere. So we are working with agents in other states. We can't list the property, but they can, and we do the marketing for them as their assistant through send-out cards. We have a $6.5 million home up on Lake Michigan, and it's just phenomenal, and we got it because of send-out cards. $6.5 million home that we're getting a 50% tip on. And I'm not exaggerating when I say absolutely every one of those listings is because of send-out cards. That's how good this system is.
That is absolutely awesome. And he's not lying when he says he puts people picture, because I got a New Year card just today from Jim, and it has my picture, my name on it. I absolutely love it. It's what I'm going to start carrying around. So thank you. Jim, I'm going to have you come back in a little bit, but I'm going to jump into how the pricing works. So we have a $39 per month monthly subscription. It puts 100 bonus points into your account. That's 33 grading cards a month. As you can tell, Jim's using more than that. But with that monthly subscription, it locks you into our lowest price per point. So $1.17 plus the stamp for your cards. And if you're going to send 2-pack of brownies, it's about $10. We also have a pay-as-you-go option where you can literally buy 1 card at a time, but you're going to pay a lot more. The difference between $1.98 plus the stamp versus $1.17. Know that your points roll over for 18 months and there's no commitment. You can cancel online at any time. We also have bundle services. That first impression kit we talked about is in our marketing and business bundles. You also get points to get you started, training portal, handwriting, and signatures. Know that those are one-time setup fees. They each have a small annual renewal, but those are not monthly fees. They're one-time. Most people will then add our monthly $39 subscription. Now, if you're not sure which bundle is best for you, get back with the person who invited you here. You can determine, but I will tell you the marketing bundle for business people, for real estate agents, is our most popular bundle. But again, get back with the person who invited you here, and they can help determine what is best for your needs. Now, anyone can become a Send Out Cards customer, but for $50 add-on one-time fee with a $59 annual renewal, you can become a Send Out Cards distributor and get paid to share Send Out Cards with others. If you add that distributor option, you get everything you need to get started in this business, including a marketing website, a back office, training, and customer support. So get started now. There's 4 types of people who join Send Out Cards. The first is someone who wants to be a customer and just use this amazing system. The second is someone we call a referral partner. I always like to call this the I want to get my money back. So you start using Send Out Cards, you know a few other people that could use this, so you refer it to them. You work with your sponsor, go out and share it together with them, and when they sign up, you get paid for sharing Send Out Cards with them. The third is someone who's looking to earn money working part-time. You may love what you do, but you want to build an additional stream of income in your household. And the fourth was someone like me that was looking to replace your current income. Now, I'm going to come back to those 4 in when we're done here, but before we're done, I want to talk to you about how you can make money with Send Out Cards. Because for every marketing bundle you sell, so if you decide to become a referral partner, a part-time income, or a full-time income, you add that $50 distributor option. And then for every marketing bundle you sell, you can earn up to $335. You can also earn up to $195 for every marketing bundle sold in your organization, and that bonus is paid to an unlimited number of levels. Double these bonuses on business bundles sold, and you will receive half the commissions on personal bundles. So just imagine 10, 20, or 100 bundles being sold in your organization in a given month. That's big money. Now, let's talk about residual income. You can earn up to 20% on all your personal customers' volume, and you can show others how to do the same. Let's say you go out and personally sponsored 3 distributors and they did the same 7 levels deep. Well, you would have 3,279 distributors in your organization. You will receive a 2% override on all the customer volume on levels 1 through 6 and 5% on level 7. So, how big do you want your team to build? How many customers will each team member have? Well, you do the math. And in Send Out Cards, this is just the base level. On that previous sheet, you saw we had different management levels. Well, each time you promote to another management level, you can earn an additional 5% in volume. So once again, there's 4 types of people who join Send Out Cards. You're a 1 if you want to be a customer. You're a 2 if you want to be a referral partner. I call that the I want to get my money back. You're a 3 if you want to earn money working part-time, and you're a 4 if you want to replace your income. Where do you see yourself getting started today? Because Send Out Cards is changing the lives of thousands of people all over the world. It's time to get started. You need to decide if you want to help revolutionize the greeting card and gift industry. In the markets we are currently in, millions of new customers will experience Send Out Cards in the next few years. And I know, Jim, that says in the next few years, but I believe in the next few months, because Send Out Cards is truly poised for massive growth and will become a worldwide household name. Jim, I want to bring you back. You know, you are a very successful real estate agent, but you're also building a Send Out Cards business as a part-time income. I know that you make enough that it's covering all your cards every month, and you're sending quite a few and lots of brownies. Why, when you looked at this, did you decide to become a distributor as well?
Well, initially, I just started sending cards to people who bought and sold houses from me, thank you cards, and that's the only reason I joined. But the reaction was just phenomenal. It was, almost everybody called me up, and that's what we're looking for. Never before when I sent a thank you letterhead or when I gave a fruit basket or a gift basket or a bottle of wine, occasionally they'd call and thank you, but rarely. And not only do they call and thank you, but they keep the cards. So when I realized how good it was as a thank you gift, and I'm a listing agent, I don't work that many buyers. That's how I came up with the system to work for sale by owners and expireds. So I started using that, and it worked better than any FSBO or any expired system I had tried. And then I realized, oh my God, every realtor in the country should be using this. Now, Callie, you know, and a whole lot of other send-out cards distributors who have used it for your own life, for other businesses, or just personal use. You know how phenomenal the product is. So I really thought every realtor I talked to would just jump on it and it would just take off. And it doesn't work that way. But the realtors who do use it, my God, they are as appreciative to me as I am to the guy who got me involved. So it's not an easy sale to convince a realtor to use it, but it's not an exaggeration to say it's better marketing out there than any. I'm with Keller Williams. I've been with Remax. I've been with Coldwell Banker. It's better than any marketing any real estate company has. And truly, every realtor should use it. And there's a learning curve with any stock, any product, or any fad. And I love that curve. It's called the law of innovation and diffusion. And you can Google that, and you can actually learn a little bit more about it. But what's cool about send-out cards, like Callie said, we will be a household name, but we're not even close to the tipping point yet. And that's what's so exciting about send-out cards. It's a product that not only every realtor should be using, but every car salesman should be using it, every veterinarian, every insurance salesman, every photographer, you name it. Because it's, it's a people product, and it's just phenomenal. So that's why I joined. I just realized the potential of it.
Awesome. And so much so that you've even written a book, The Revolution in Real Estate Sales.
Well, how that came about, as you know, Callie, about 4 years ago, I made a couple of YouTube videos. And I made them so everybody could use them all across the country. And they worked really well for people, send-out cards distributors all over the country. And I thought, oh, my goodness, I think it would be a whole lot better if these distributors could send a realtor a card and put that realtor's picture on the front of the card, kind of like the first send-out card I received. They could put that realtor's picture on the front of a card in maybe one of those realtors' listings, which you can get from their webpage. And then on the inside, say, a friend of mine, Jim McCord, has been using this product for 7 years. He likes it so much he wrote a book. I included his book with this card. So that's why I wrote the book. And it just came out September 23rd, and it's been a bestseller. And it's working very well. So it's just a phenomenal product. And, it's kind of like if a new restaurant opens in your area. What do? You go to the restaurant. If you love it, you start telling people about it. And that's the way those of us in send-out cards feel. So you share really good things in your life, even if you don't get paid. But what's phenomenal about this company and this product is I've sent out over 8,000 cards in 7 years. Now you might think, oh my God, 8,000 cards, Jim? Well, I've made an additional $350,000 on top of what I would have made because of send-out cards. And I've sent out 8,000 cards, which cost me about $12,000 or $13,000. I've made over $350,000 additional real estate commissions. But because I'm a distributor and I share send-out cards has sent me more in checks than what I paid them to send 8,000 cards. Now that is an incredible company. When you can use a marketing company and they pay you more than what you pay them to use them, I mean, that's just phenomenal.
Because you're out talking about it anyway. And that's what I love about you, is that you're a real estate agent that has abundance mentality, that says, you know what, I'm going to share my ideas. I'm not going to just keep these for me, but share them, and bless you and your business, but so many of us as well. So thank you so much for having us, being on, and sharing your insights, Jim. I know a lot of people got really great information. So for our guest tonight, this is really why we were here. I want to leave you with this quote by Sir Richard Branson, right? Entrepreneur extraordinaire, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Galactic, the Virgin Group. He said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, and then learn how to do it later. say yes, and then learn how to do it later. And you may be looking at send out cards and thinking either from the product side, using it in your business, or from the business side, the opportunity, thinking, you know what, Callie, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. What if you never had to say that again, right? That's what's here at hand with send out cards. You can use this product in your business to grow sales. Jim just talked about that. You can also join us in this opportunity and get paid for sharing it with others. And I love this quote because my late father once said to me, he said, Callie, when everyone's walking one direction, have the courage to turn around and walk the other direction, and it will make all the difference in the world. And when I got started in this business 7.5 years ago, I was working full time. I really didn't have the time for something else, but I wanted a change in my life. And I'm so glad I listened to that inner voice and got started in this business. So get back with the person who invited you here tonight. Get your questions answered and let them know if you're one and you want to be a customer, two, if you want to be a referral partner, the get your money back place, three, you want to build a part-time income, or four, you want to replace your current income. And please let Jim and I be the very first people to welcome you to send out cards. Thank you, everyone, and good night. Bye.